Hello and welcome to our first tutorial on structural dynamics. This is a course that is taught to fourth-year undergraduate students, a Bachelor of Engineering course in Civil Engineering at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology in Nairobi, Kenya. So in this tutorial, we are going to look at one solved problem on free vibration of single degree of freedom system. We have covered this in our course and is recorded in the lecture number 2. You can see from the link on top here, you can click that to watch the whole of this video, this topic, free vibration of single degree of freedom system, before you can now be able to tackle the problem that we are addressing here. This tutorial is brought to you by Dr. Gadeba Education Center in conjunction with the Department of Civil Engineering at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Subscribe to Dr. Gadeba Education Center on YouTube for free learning. We provide learning for free, so just subscribe. Click the notification bell for this type of tutorials. And let me see how you enjoy or how you are assisted by this kind of tutorials in the comment section. So let's start. We have a problem. It will be a basic problem because we are talking of undamped free vibration. So you're given a single degree of freedom system which has a mass of the mass is given as 20 kilograms and the stiffness is given as 35 newtons per newton per millimeter. And then the initial condition, initial displacement is 10 millimeters and initial velocity is 10 millimeters per second. So you are required to find one, the natural frequency, the natural period, the amplitude of vibration, and the time at which the third maximum peak occurs. So looking at this is a basic problem. We just want to see whether you can be able to apply the concept that we learned in lesson 2 on introduction to structural dynamics and the basic equations. So let's see the solution. This is a probable solution, a model answer. You could have a different approach, but I find this one to be the easiest. So first, it's always good once you are given a problem to idealize it using a diagram or graphics. So we have a dynamic representation of our system where we are given the mass as 20 kilogram, and then the stiffness is given as so the mass is given as 20 kilograms, so you can get the weight by multiplying by the gravitational acceleration as 9.81, so you get that. Then the stiffness is given as 35 newtons per millimeter squared. Remember this single degree of freedom, so just one coordinate is enough to describe our motion. There is no external excitation, so no forcing function there, so that is equals to 0. Again, there is no damping, so that's why you don't see the dashboard here. All right, so this is again ignored because it's free and damped vibration. So this is the information that we have. Let's go to the question. Again, I almost forgot this. We are given the initial condition. For our motion to initiate, there is the initial displacement of 10 millimeter and the initial velocity is 100 millimeters per second. So with that information, we can go and now start solving our problem. We have the question 1, what is the natural frequency? So this is very basic. This is the expression for natural frequency. This is angular frequency, the square root of stiffness times the gravitational acceleration divided by the weight. So if that's why I was converting mass to weight here. You can apply it directly because it's the same as K over M. So you just need to substitute those values here and then you get your angular frequency as 41.83 rads per second. So let's now get the natural frequency F, or the linear frequency. This is the same as angular frequency divided by 2 pi. And the answer you get will be in terms of hertz, or what you call cycles per second. These are the units. It's same as hertz. So you can see that's a simple representation. And this, because this tutorial is based on some continuous assessment tests that I gave to my students. So I could award marks as follows. So for correct working here, I give you a half a mark. And for correct answer, I give you a half mark. So in total, This one you get 1 mark here. Again, I repeat the same here. 1 mark, full mark here. So this will be a half for the correct working, meaning you know how the correct expression, and how to substitute the values, and also a half for correct answer. Now a disclaimer here. If you give me a correct answer and wrong working, you score 0. But if you give me wrong answer, maybe because you punched numbers wrongly in your calculator, but the working is correct, then you're going to get a half mark. Why I don't award for only correct answer and wrong working is because I don't want a scenario whereby students are just copying or giving me values we don't know where they came from. All right. So I like the process. The process is more significant than the end product. So this is not where we say that the head justifies the means. I need to see the means. So part 2, the period. Very simple. This is the reciprocal of the natural frequency that is given in terms of second. Remember the period. If you look at that video, lesson number 2 on structural dynamics, the period, or if you have studied in about waves, the period is the time taken to complete one oscillation. So from this point to this point, this is the period. And of course, the amplitude is the maximum displacement here we are talking. This will be the amplitude. Okay. So the third part of our question is, what is the amplitude? Now the amplitude, we know our equation of motion for the free and damped vibration is expressed as follows. So generally, the fundamental equation of motion is given by mu, or m times acceleration, plus damping coefficient times velocity, plus the stiffness times the displacement is equals to the externally applied force, okay, in terms of T. So in this case, for undamped, so there is no damping coefficient, and free, there is no forcing function. That's why now it's condenses to mu the prime plus ku is equals to 0. So with this equation now, this is a second order ordinary homogeneous differential equation whose solution is as follows. Ut, or the value of u, is given by a cos omega t minus beta. So this is the amplitude. This is the phase angle. Of course, we know this is the angular frequency and this is time. So what we need to get from our question is the amplitude. And amplitude is given by this expression. And that's why I'm saying, don't forget to click this link so that you watch that video. You see how we derived this expression for amplitude. Because now in this question, what we are doing is just plugging in the values. The amplitude is equals to the square of displacement, initial displacement, plus initial velocity divided by omega, then squared. So this, recall, we are given that at time t is equals to 0. This is the initial values. U naught is 10 millimeters and V naught is equals to 10 millimeters per second. Remember why you are using the upper dot here. This is just a short form of the first derivative, du over dt. Okay. So again, you just need to now plug in the values that you have here. This is 10 squared, the displacement, then the acceleration, and you get your value as 10.28 millimeters. This is very simple. Say this problem is easy, quite easily done. Again, I said this is an assessment tutorial based on some assessment, so I can show you where you are going to get your scores in. So in this problem, again, for this period, I'm just going to give you 1 mark here. Again, correct working, half, and correct answer, half. Then for this other one, showing me that you know the equation of motion, you get a half. And then the expression, this one you're going to get a half score. Because these are just basic things. Again, the expression for amplitude, you get a half score. And then the working, because if I find like you just come direct here, you can imagine if you just come here and start giving me this value, then I wonder, what are these things? Did this student know, or he just copied from somewhere else? So I want to see that you know what kind of expression we are using. So now this one now for the correct working, This working now, plugging in these values, I'm gonna give you another half thing. Okay, so you get your total score here 2 marks, and here you get 1 mark. Okay, so you can see I might not even be so much interested in the final answer if you are able to show me the working, the processes, the equations, the formulas that you used. Finally, the last part of our problem is, at what time does the third maximum peak occur? So remember, you might be tricked because you have already calculated the displacement, no, sorry, the time, the period at 0.15 second. You might just come and try to think multiplying by 0, something like that. But what we need to know here is that, how does our motion looks like? Is it starting at the, we already know it's not starting at the origin 0. So we need the second, the third peak there. So we need to sketch a motion, our motion. So on this, we know this is the solution, or this is our motion, how our motion looks like, the solution to our problem. So you already have calculated the amplitude. So what you are being tested here is now, can you be able to obtain the phase angle, right? And the phase angle is given as shown. And what you just need to do is plug in the values that are required. And again, I also like to encourage you to watch the video on this link here above. If you're on YouTube, the link above. If you see this video somewhere else, check the link there. The video on lesson 2 on structural dynamics, lecture number 2. You'll be able to see how we derived again these expressions. And with that, you just plug in your values, be able to get what is the phase angle as 0.23 rands. Something that I should point out here is that when you are working on this and the last in your calculator, remember to set your calculator into the mode of radians. Any other workings we are doing is in degree form, okay? Where you just, if you are using like mine is Casio, just need to shift, we go to setup, shift setup, then I'm able to press number 4. That will be the radians. So set your calculator to radian mode. So after you get this answer, then you can go back to the degree mode. So once you have that, then our equation now is in complete full is this in its entirety. We have the amplitude, we have the frequency, angular frequency, and then we have the phase angle. With this, you can sketch. Now, this one I've drawn in Excel. It's very smooth, but what I'm requiring of you is only the sketch. So the value may not be that exact. The time may not be 0.305, but anything between 0.3 there and 0.32, we could give correct mark. So again, for this one, the assessment here, if I were to award marks, of course, I said this is for assessment purposes. This is how I would go about awarding marks. Is for this, again, I would like to see you that you know you're using the correct expressions. So this one I give you a half. All right, and then for substituting that again another half. Then getting the full equation complete, you get another half. And then for the correct sketch here, I'll give you a full mark. Full mark for the sketch, and also because I know you did some background working. Maybe you had some table where you are having U and T, and you are putting some values so that you can make this sketch. So that's, you get your full marks. So again, I could spice things up on this problem, and I just want to say, assuming there was damping, if there was damping, we anticipate to have something like our motion starts the same as this, but there is now the decay part because of the damping. So it may continue declining until the motion completely dies out, right? So the exponential decay aspect would come in. And how would we obtain this? Remember the expression for with the damping. Now we'll be having the damping coefficient being considered. So you can try to work it out. Assume our problem have got 10% damping, and then you see what would be the amplitude at that maximum peak or something like that. That brings us to the end of our first tutorial. Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more tutorials. Coming up next will be this tutorial. We want to look at a problem now when there is damping, and this will be covered in our tutorial number 2. At the speed with which I make this tutorial is based on whether you like these tutorials. Let me know in the comment section there. And also your response in terms of subscribing. Show some love to this channel. It's a young channel growing, so subscribe. Click that notification button so that you don't miss on future tutorials. and as well as share with your friends, share with your colleagues. This is free running. I'm not charging anything, and I am also going to leave the link to these problems. These problems have hosted them in our certain blog. You can be able to access them, and also the workings. In future, I'm going to prepare the workout for this so that you can check out on that blog. You'll be able to see the workings where you can be able to read if you don't have much time to follow this video. But I advise you to watch the video because the explanations are more clear than when you just read the workings. I know you can be able to get this working or examples like this in some books, but maybe you don't understand a certain step. That's why we are making these tutorials. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye for now. This is Dr. Gadeba signing out. Thank you.